Happy Monday, everyone. It's time for last call over here on WagerTalk. And we got a loaded show. We're starting off a little bit early today because, of course, we have the double header. We got two games out there in the NFL, and we've started off at 7 o'clock Eastern with New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins, followed up by the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. So one of us on this show is rolling with the New York Jets in their survivor picks, and that would be me. So you guys pray for me here tonight. I decided to get dirty because, you got to go at some point with one of these dirty teams. We'll see what the Prez thinks of that pick of mine, but you guys make sure you jump in the chat right now. Let us know your questions, your comments, everything that you're liking out there. Bragging rights are on the line. If you like someone for that first touchdown, if you're dropping your bets in there, let me know what you're thinking. We do have the Prez and Ronald Cabang coming on the show today. So we got a loaded one here. Let's bring the Prez in. We're going to talk about everything going on. And while we do, make sure you open your Odds Logic page. Make sure you have it open. We're going to shop for the best of the lines as we talk here. And welcome to all the new members we're seeing come in to WagerTalk. Prez, happy Monday. How did Sunday treat you?
Phenomenal, Joe. I did lose my 5% play, which obviously sucked, but I swept the board. So with everything else, and I have a teaser that needs to be closed when the Denver Broncos win tonight. So assume the Denver Broncos win on the money line tonight, and I've got myself a 4-1 Sunday. Very happy about that. Joe, let's not bury the lead. I know a person who took the New York Jets as a survivor pick. I dropped them off at the insane asylum earlier today.
I think you probably have taken me too. Yeah.
I fed them first with a little baby bottle because they can't chew. What?
I know. I had to do it though.
Why? Was Houston a problem?
Yeah, I looked at it.
Houston, you thought the New York Jets on the road.
Yeah, rivalry
against
game.
A coaching staff trying to save their careers is a better bet than the Houston Texans that have gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row and found themselves down 0-3 to start the season playing against nobody.
Yeah, I did. I looked at it and I went, I just can't trust Mike McDaniel out there. I know he's fighting for his life too.
But you don't have to trust Mike McDaniel because he's not involved in the Houston-Tennessee game.
I know, but that's why I went to the Jets because I just can't trust. I looked at the coaching staff and I went, what is the coaching staff that I can trust the least? I know they're fighting for their lives, and I know I'm probably going to be kicking myself the whole couple hours as I watch this game.
This is some $5 survivor you entered.
No, I wish it was. I wish I could say it was.
So this is not the Circa, no.
Oh, no. Okay. I wouldn't be doing that with Circa money. Okay. So we're good there.
Prez, which way is the beach? Says full time for life. That way. I only care about where the ski hill is. I don't care where the beach is. Listen, Joe, good luck on your survivor pick. I hope you lose.
Thank you hope I lose. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're rolling with the Dolphins tonight, hey? Did you lay the 2.5 with them?
Well, I have them. So I just took a money line parlay bet. I took the Dolphins. I did two versions of this bet. Dolphins, Denver, LA Rams, Buffalo, and the Arizona Cardinals. 5-teamer, all on the money line. I then did a 4-teamer, and I took the Arizona Cardinals out. Both of those give you plus money. They're full-time. Yeah, so that's how I attacked that game. I do have Miami as one of my Circa picks. It will make for a 3-2 day. I actually know some people who know the owners of the Miami Dolphins, and word on the street is McDaniel's going nowhere.
No matter
win
what.
or lose. So that's what I'm told, and I think that probably might take a little bit of pressure off of him. But man, I don't see how anyone could back Justin Fields. Like, I mean, I get it. He's a great athlete. I understand. But, Peyton Manning is not a great athlete. I bet you Tom Brady is not even a great athlete. Troy Aikman, Joe Theismann, all these old white guys. I'm sure they're not great athletes. We need quarterbacks behind center, not great athletes.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Tua right now and how he's been playing?
I think he's horrible, terrible. Yeah. But at least he throws the ball. I would take Tua over Justin Fields. With that said, I mean, neither of them deserve our money, Joe.
Yeah.
And, you look at Miami, they're at home. They have weapons, but New York Jets have weapons too. I like the over in this game too, Joe. I like both team totals over as well. I think the New York Jets are 20.5 and Miami is 23.5. Yeah. So I did look at taking both team totals over. I'm actually doing really, really well with team totals. Hey, I'll show some messages. If Miami loses at home tonight, how could any sane owner keep McDaniel around? Who said they were sane?
Maybe they're betting on the Jets too, right?
Yeah.
It's an insane place for all of us.
There you go. Anyway, look, I got no issue. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Jets are a bad bet. I did not bet Miami. Mm-hmm. I just think the Jets are a bad survivor pick. Oh, my God. With that said, Joe, I have a survivor pick tonight, and it's not too late for you to change yours. The Denver Broncos.
See, that would be the easy pick, though. The Denver Broncos are the easy pick on Monday Night Football.
The easy pick would have been the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that is true.
The easy pick would have been the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
Why
that was
is
a great
Denver
game.
The easy pick? And I can speak on behalf of all men. Yeah. We want the easy pick.
Okay. You like the easy pick. Okay, the Denver Broncos here. Sean Payton, Cortland Sutton. Are you going to see Bo Nix getting that ball to Cortland Sutton tonight?
Yeah. Well, listen, one thing we've seen about Bo Nix is that this Denver team is trying to stretch the field. Now, Bo Nix has been slightly off with his aim, if you will. He's overthrowing the wide receivers. But, Joe, as the season progresses, they're going to find their rhythm. I like Sutton over in yards. I like Bo Nix over in yards. I like Bo Nix and Tua over 1.5 touchdowns as a small parlay. That gives you a really nice pay. Carmine Bianco, the easy picks with the Patriots. Sure, Carm, hindsight is 100. But anything was an easier pick than the on-the-road New York Jets. Joe,
I did say it was an easy pick.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking I wanted to get rid of them. I thought this was their chance to be able to get the win. It's not like I took the New Orleans Saints yesterday.
So
I didn't go dumpster dirty.
If hypothetically you make it through, you're going with the Saints next week. Obviously, they're not going to have an easier game than that at home. Pick them against the Giants. Come on. If you're gonna get dirty, Joe. Dirty.
If I make it through, then I'm gonna have to go dirty. Now that you said it, now the game tape will be out on Jackson Dart. So maybe then I get dirty. The Giants pulled off the big win yesterday.
They won't have Malik Neighbors. They won't have a team in a horrible spot. The Chargers were in an absolute nightmare spot.
Gross. It was gross. As a Chargers fan, I thought they'd lose, and then Joe Alt went out, and then it was awful, Prez.
Yeah, now without Staley and Alt, this is a team that I'm very concerned about moving forward. -2.5 against Washington, and they were -3. So there's money coming in on Washington right now. Total 48 in that game. I would look to take that game under.
I would too, but Jaden Daniels is back, correct? For this,
we don't know yet, but yes, I would assume he is back. But with that said, I don't know if you've been watching the Chargers secondary. Maybe an off game yesterday, but I think one of the best in the league.
Yeah. Their secondary is great, but Jaden Daniels using his legs. Who knows if they'll want him to run that ball? No dumpster diving, and the Saints, good way to find a loss in number 1 pick. How did this happen?
Well, listen, Saints going with a number 1 pick, and I get it. Why wouldn't they want Arch Manning? They are part of the Manning lore. It all started there. With that said, it does not look like Arch Manning is going to be the next coming of any type of Manning. But I'm cheering for him. The world needs more Mannings as far as I'm concerned. I think Peyton and Eli are just awesome. I man crush on both of them.
Oh, they're absolutely fantastic. That is for sure. Okay, let's go back to the Jets game versus Miami. I know that you're rolling with Miami here. You like the 43.5 to the over. Where are you going with any prop bets? Anything that you're looking at? Like what players do you think will stand out tonight?
Yeah, so I did make a few prop bets. I took oh my god, like I've gone blank here. I actually have prop bets on this game. I took touchdowns.
Nice.
Oh my god, I've gone completely blank on the touchdown.
Achan's the favorite for the Miami Dolphins.
No,
get
it was I took Breece Hall. I took Breece Hall anytime touchdown at plus 140. I remember the plus 140. I forget the guy I'm cheering for. So I did take Breece Hall, and I did do a small parlay, as I said, on Tua over 1.5 touchdown passes, linked in with Knicks over 1.5 touchdown passes. So I did make those two bets. But these parlays, Joe, are just for fun. Like they are not like my actual bets are like let's say I bet $100 on a play. I would bet $5 on a parlay or $10 on a parlay. Like it will not make or break my day. I am winning or losing money on straight bets, and I'm having fun with parlays.
Okay. I like where you're going with that. Parlays are always supposed to be fun, aren't they?
Listen, I'm a perfect 6-0 in parlays this year for my clients. I'm 65% on the season. I'm so stoked by how things have started.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You're absolutely crushing it. With that being said, there's so much going on at WagerTalk.com. Lots of places for you to be able to get these packages. Your Weekend Warrior package, you can jump in on that, you guys. Prez is part of that. It is a great deal. There's also NBA and NHL right around the corner, Prez. I know there's some early bird specials and then $500 off the yearly packages. What else can people expect from you?
Hockey and to make money. Like ultimately, I make the most amount of money year in, year out in hockey and in NFL football. My college football is acceptable. I don't lose much. I don't think I win much. I probably am break even, give or take, which, believe it or not, is acceptable in the wonderful world of sports betting. And my basketball has been exceptional the last 3 years. So I think that everyone should be comfortable betting any play I put out. I'm up close to 80 units of profit across all sports since March. So, yeah. But let's address some of these guys. Rob Christensen writes, thoughts on teasing the Jets plus 8.5 and the Broncos minus 1.5. I got no issue with that, Rob. And I think that is exactly what you're supposed to do. That is a Wong teaser. Stanley would be proud. You are crossing 3 and 7 in both. So I have a zero issue with you doing that. However, Rob, I would not do that. How I would attack that is I would take a parlay on the alt line and take the Broncos minus 2.5 instead of 1.5, because 2 is a dead number in football. And I would take the Jets plus 7.5 instead of 8.5, because 8 is a dead number in football. You will actually end up getting about 25 cents better if you do it my way than your way, and likely not lose as a result of it. So I just want to say that's how I would attack that, but I have no problem with that teaser at all. Jets and Dolphins team total over, figure at worst a split. Adam, that's how I kind of attack some of these things, where I'm looking at it going, do we do the total or do we go for broke? And I like that concept of, instead of taking a 4% play on the over, take 2% plays on the team totals over. I feel like if you do that on a regular basis, you're going to go 1-1 more often than not, but you will go 2-0 more often than you will go 0-2. So I do actually like that strategy, and it's a strategy that I personally use. Yeah,
I love that you're jumping in on that strategy. So those team totals for tonight in this matchup. We got the Miami Dolphins 23.5. It's minus 104 to the over currently, you guys, on most books. And it's 20.5 for the New York Jets at minus 113. So jumping on both of those. I'm guessing you have more faith in the Miami Dolphins here since you're rolling with them on the spread. But let's jump into the later game, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. This should have been that great game between Joe Burrows and Bo Nix competing against each other. But Jake Browning, Prez, did you know his anytime interception is minus 210 on most books? He's going to throw those interceptions.
So right off the bat, I would bet that no, and I'll tell you why. And it's the same reason I would have bet Micah no on sacks against Green Bay. Now he did get it at the end of the game. It was in dispute. I mean, it was technically a sack by this much, but the bottom line is, if you're looking at Bo Nix at minus 200, if Bo Nix played 17 games this year, he will not throw 34 interceptions.
Yeah.
So if he will not throw 34 interceptions, not Bo Nix, who are we talking about?
Browning. Jake
Browning. If Kurt Browning would not throw 2 interceptions a game, then minus 200 is a horrible bet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is unlikely that Browning, and I like to call him Kurt Browning, you know the reference, most don't, but Jake Browning will not throw 2 interceptions every game he plays. That is not a good number at all. And it was the same with Micah. He was minus 140 to get a sack. That implies that he would get 24 sacks in 17 games. So I don't like looking at isolated opportunities. Like, Robert Glock wrote he might throw 3. He might. And next week he might throw 0. So for me, this is about a math equation, not today is the day that this guy throws 4 interceptions.
Maybe 4.
5, 6. I can't guess which day a quarterback is going to throw interceptions. And,
are you sold here? I want to ask you, are you sold on Denver's defense?
Sold? Do I think it's the best defense in the league? No. Do I think it's the best defense in their division? No. Do I think they're a top 5 unit? Potentially. I like what Denver is doing defensively, but I need to see a little bit more still. This is not a team that has literally played. Go play the Detroit Lions and let's see what you do, Denver. You allowed the Chargers to put up 23. You allowed Indianapolis to put up 29. Tennessee put up 12, which is the equivalent of Detroit putting up 73. So
true.
Do I think they have a good defense? Likely. Am I going to bet on their defense right now? No. But do I think they'll be able to stop Browning? Yes.
Okay, so in your circuit plays, you have the Denver Broncos.
No. Denver on the money line. I have it as my survivor pick in the splash. One. I had Detroit in the circa. Yeah, so I do not have Denver minus 7.5. That is a terrible bet. What did Kelly write?
Good defense.
Denver is a good defense against bad teams. Yes. And Kathy Bates is a beautiful woman when talking to very ugly men. I don't even understand that statement. I am also not old, says a 100-year-old guy. In other words, what?
Yeah. Everybody is a favorite last year, 0-2 this year. Okay. Yeah, this year, Bo Nix is having those struggles. Can he get back on track here tonight versus the Cincinnati Bengals defense, though? This is a defense he should be able to carve up.
Yeah, which is why I like Sutton over. I like Bo Nix over. I like Denver in the first half better than I like Denver on the game. The great thing about first half bets when you're looking at big favorites is there's no back door. I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to sit there and say, if there's they're up by 13 with 2 to go. Can the other team backdoor us? Nope, not going to happen at the first half. So if I were to bet Denver, I would take them in the first half.
Okay. I like where you're going there with that first half bet. Kelly wants us to talk about Bo Nix turning that ball over. Now, if you're looking for him to throw that interception today, you guys, it's coming in right now at minus 114 for Bo Nix to throw that interception. Prez, I know you don't like looking at just interception props there on a daily.
Well, is he going to have 19 interceptions when the year is over and done?
No, I don't think
why
so.
would anyone make that bet?
Yeah.
Like, this is a math. Like, people are like, oh, you're a sports bettor? No, I'm not. I'm a math bettor. Oh, you like sports? No, I don't. I like math. Oh my God, Prez, you can't name 2 people on a college football team. I don't even think I can name 2 college football teams. Who cares? I'm in the math world, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone else is in, but I play poker. It's a 2.8% extra chance if I got suited connectors than not suited connectors. Math is what drives my bets.
Yeah. Yeah, completely understandable. Kelly is throwing out a teaser there. She's got the Jets plus the 8.5 and the Broncos laying the 1.5. I wanted to look at that first half there for the Denver Broncos. What are you laying in the first half, Prez? I'm trying to find it as we speak.
Well, it should be 4.5.
Okay.
So, the one thing about the sports books is they're all a little bit all over the place, which is a great thing. And a real it's -4 for Denver at minus 115. So it's -4.5 some places, -4 at other places. I consider that a much better bet than -7.5 on the game.
Yeah. Okay. So if
Oh, sorry. This is an
ahead.
interesting point. Katie and Kyrie, I'm learning to play the number and not be a fan when betting. Well, listen, that is half the battle to becoming a successful sports bettor. You got to get rid of fandom. And you look at me and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't think I've ever bet against them in my life, but I also don't bet on them much. I kind of just stay away and cheer.
Yeah, and it's a great way to go. You can't bet with your heart. That is for sure. It's a good way to lose money. Passing props there for Bo Nixon. His number, it's sitting right around 221.5. You're expecting those connections with Sutton. If you're expecting the connections with Sutton, would you look at Bo Nix for his passing props, or are you going to look at Sutton isolating his numbers?
No, I like both. I like Bo Nix for passing props. Look, I'll tell you flat out, they're going to throw a 50-yard bomb 3 times today. How many do they catch? So that's ultimately the question. What about Waller's yards? I don't know anything about Waller's yards. I did not look, so I can't help you there, SP Bets. But we got any chance the Broncos game hits 42? Does it need to hit 42 exactly? And I win if it hits 42 or higher? Well, I mean, listen, the number is set at 44.5. So you've got 50% of the people, give or take, thinking it'll be over 54.5, 44.5, and 50% being under. The bookmakers are telling you it is likely going to hit 42 or more. S. I feel like you will win your pool. I think it'll hit. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it would hit as well. So I think Jake Browning will show us a couple things in this game. We saw when he had to step in for Joe Burrow, he was able to lead some nice drives, especially at the end of that game. So while he can throw those interceptions, he also can get things done. Any touchdown scorers in this one? Prez, do you expect J.K. Dobbins maybe to get in the end zone?
So in the first game, I took who again? What was the person's name?
Bryce Hall.
It was plus 140.
Bryce Hall at plus 140.
And I took Dobbins at minus 130 for an anytime touchdown. So yes, I have those 2 touchdowns. One thing I do want to quickly say about touchdown prop bets, because a lot of people are really interested in them. Be careful with them. If you go, if you think they're going to be 6 touchdowns in a game, don't take 8 people to score a touchdown. It's not going to work. My suggestion would be to pick one person to get a touchdown and maybe take that person to get 2 or more, rather than trying to spread your money out and then none of those guys get a touchdown. And all of a sudden, Bo Nix runs the ball in 3 times. So I would rather you guys pick one touchdown scorer and scream and yell at the TV than sort of spread your money out. That's a losing proposition in the long run.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so this one has a total of 44.5. You're expecting it to go over that 42. Do you think it just creeps over the 44.5 though?
I would much rather you take the Denver team total over
Yeah.
than the over in that game. I don't know what Cincinnati is going to give us. I mean,
Yeah.
according to Kelly, and she knows her shit,
Yeah,
Denver's defense is really good against bad teams, and Cincinnati's a bad team. So I would not look to bet the game over. I would prefer you bet Denver team total over. But honestly, that is a tricky number. I mean, here you to figure out the total in this game is like, do we count on Browning getting us 17? Let's say they put up 17 points, right?
Yeah.
28 is what we need from Denver to get us to 45. Am I confident that Denver can get us 28 points? Well, they've only done it one time this year.
Mhm.
28-29 to Indianapolis. They were only able to put up 20 against the Chargers and 20 against Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I would go. I would not take the over in that game at all, and I wouldn't even take the team totals over. I'm just saying I'd prefer you being on Denver team total over than over on the entire game.
Well, you nailed it where you think the Bengals team total should be, because the books have it at 17.5. It is juiced to like minus 120 to that under. So interesting there. We've got Dobbins being thrown out for that anytime touchdown. They don't like the minus 130 mark. There are minus 125s if you guys want to shop those lines as well. But I like Dobbins. He'll get in the end zone. RJ Harvey, the second running back there, has the ability to run that ball as well and get in the end zone. So it's going to be an interesting one, Prez. Looking ahead to Thursday night football, it's 49ers and the Rams. You have faith in the Rams this weekend. They came out nice and solid. Matt Stafford's back's not really looking like an issue, hey?
Yeah, so I bet the Rams in a money line parlay, so few. I also had the Rams in the circa at minus 3.5, so few. I love the Rams actually this Thursday night, and I like them. Look, the money is pouring in on the Rams. It's now up to minus 5.5. I see myself putting the Rams in a money line parlay. I don't think I could get there with the spread. It's a division game. These are the two teams that I think will fight it out for that division. It's on a short week. It's on prime time. It's just too big a number at 5.5. I like them to win the game on the money line. I can't bet the money line. I'll parlay it likely. But I do like the under in this game, Joe. 47 points. That seems to be crazy to me, especially with San Fran understanding that the only way they win is if they keep it low scoring. And the Rams defense, albeit they weren't so great this past Sunday, this is one of the fastest defenses in the league. I think the under is the bet in that game for sure.
Okay, I'm seeing the comments in the chat here. Someone's saying Tua's rushing yards is only at 1.5. He's not only at 1.5, is he?
Well, I will tell you that in 1 second. I'll take the over if that is the case.
Me too, all day.
And I'll do it right now, frankly. Live on air. Rushing yards. Over a half.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna thank you for pointing that bet out. Who pointed that out?
S. Warrior pointed that bet out.
S. That's beautiful. I'm
gorgeous.
I'm for sure gonna put a little bit on that. That makes a lot of sense. Now we just gotta hope that he doesn't take 3 knees at the end of the game and muck that up. Yep. But yeah, nice find, S.
Yeah, it really is. I think Tua has to run. Like, that's what Tua is known for, is using his legs out there.
Well, so, he is trying to remain in the league, and running hasn't been his je ne sais quoi, if you will. So, but 1.5 yards, I mean, he literally needs to fall forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got early action on Sunday as well. Minnesota Vikings, Cleveland Browns overseas. Is that game interesting you, or are you going to look further down? We know the Baltimore Ravens didn't look like good. Lamar is not 100%. He got hurt. Not sure on his status for Sunday.
Well, as of now, he's
Texans. He's out.
Yeah, well, the Baltimore line is now minus 3.5. It was minus 9.5. So Interesting number, -3.5 against a Houston team that did play well last week. As far as Minnesota and Cleveland, Joe, goes, I am very interested in this game. I'm extremely interested in Minnesota here. Now we got a team that is staying in Europe.
Yeah,
they will, and not only that, but they've gone. I think this was their 10th time in Europe. I think they might be 9-1 or 8-2. It's an amazing number. And Cleveland, frankly, stinks. Like, they just suck at a very high level of sucking. Their defense might be acceptable. They're not as good as everybody thinks. But the best thing, what makes a great defense is when they're not out on the field. Then they're like the best defense in history of the world. So I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to tell you that the Cleveland defense will be out on the field a lot. I love Minnesota. Minnesota will be a play for me. So that thank you for asking that. And I mean, we spoke about Baltimore. Another game that I find fascinating is the Tampa Bay Seattle game. That is an interesting game to me because both these teams are so Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, that game could literally be 41-40 or 13-12.
Yeah, you wouldn't be shocked with either of those results. Garth, dropping in there, Chase Brown.
I love that bet, Garth. Yeah. I love Chase Brown under. So I am with you, and especially considering I think they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, they absolutely will. We also saw people dropping Ollie Gordon anytime touchdown at plus 295 for the Miami Dolphins. So I think that's a great one. He did have 10 carries last week. It is a solid way to look. So seeing that in the comments. But Prez, tonight.
Kelly asked about what do I think about the Ravens for Survivor. Oh my God, Kelly. I'm holding them for Thanksgiving when they host Cincinnati. Oh, that might be a mistake. I can't take them this week, Kelly. That is for sure.
Yeah.
What am I am likely going to take Buffalo in Survivor this week. At home, hosting a New England Patriots team. I'm stuck with the Ravens on Thanksgiving, hosting Cincinnati. It is what it is. Let's cross our fingers and hope that game means something to that team.
Yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed for sure. It's going to be a.
Can I give out like a bet that I absolutely freaking love? Like,
hell yeah, you can
at a high level. Now, somebody explain this to me.
Okay.
Detroit Lions to win the division plus 120. Come on, they are 3-1. They are rocking and rolling. They have won the division the last few years. They've already played Green Bay in Green Bay, which means they get them at home. They're already a game ahead of Green Bay. We saw Green Bay's vaunted defense against the incredible Dallas team yesterday. That bet boggles my mind. Green Bay Packers plus 100 to win the division and Detroit's plus 120?
Yeah.
I love the Lions to win the division. Take them at plus 120. Baltimore Ravens now down to minus 190 to win the division. But I do want to say that the Kansas City Chiefs are plus 140 to win the division. And there's value there as well, especially with Rice coming back. But I just wanted to throw that Detroit Lions bet out because I'm making it, and I don't understand why the number is so low.
I don't understand why the number is so low either, but I hear you on KC. I would jump all over that right now because Rice coming back, you made that statement, but you've got Joe Alt banged up, high ankle sprain for the Chargers. That offensive line is completely destroyed. Herbert was sacked, 5 times yesterday in the game before? A couple more. I don't know. They're not going to stay at the top of the division, that's for sure.
And they're hosting a team that is coming in looking for a win. I mean, we might be able to come back with the Chargers at plus 130 the following week. So I just wanted to make mention of that. And Kansas City, look, they don't have an easy road. I mean, Jacksonville has shown themselves to have some moxie. So, My actual bet, like what I am betting, is Detroit plus 120 to win the division.
Let's go Detroit. Okay, Prez, I've kept you long enough here. You got to get to watching these Monday night football games. What have you got up for sale for us right now?
So we have $5 Tuesday over at WagerTalk at 8 p.m. Eastern. Everything turns into a $5 packages, and I have an NFL total for Sunday that will be $5 in about an hour and 25 minutes. I really, really suggest you guys grab that total. It's $5. It's maybe, I would say it's the strongest total I've had this year.
I love it.
So and it's on Sunday. You get that only for $5. Other than that, go Jays, go Jays, go Jays, go Jays, go Jays, go Jays. I gotta be a fan. I gotta be a fan too.
Yeah, absolutely have to be a fan too. Let's hope the Toronto Blue Jays can get it done. Okay, and lastly, the end zone. It's been crushing it every single Sunday. People can find you there, and they can find you where else this week?
Yeah, so I do a daily show. It's called The Best Betting Show Ever. It's with Joe Ranieri and Art DeCesar. It's up around 1 p.m. Eastern every day, maybe about noonish, between 12 and 1. It's not live, and it's unbelievable. It's the best show I've ever done in my life as a daily show. The best. It's fast. It's informative. It's entertaining. It's packed full of alpha males and Art DeCesar. So I think everyone will enjoy the show. Check it out. That's for sure. And End Zone, we had over 16,000 people.
Wow.
Thanks, Kelly. We had over 16,000 people watching live on End Zone this past weekend. And I know you're going to come on this Sunday. I'm hoping Ronald Kabang will make an appearance. It's just basically a hangout with a bunch of bettors. And Joe, for the people who missed yesterday's End Zone, I gave out an in-game under on the Buffalo Bills game. It cashed. I gave an in-game bet on Detroit minus 4.5. It cashed. I gave an in-game bet on Tampa Bay. It cashed. I gave out 5 in-game bets. I won all 5 of them. So it's not just a hangout. We're here to make money.
I love the in-game betting, Prez. I think the in-game betting is more fun than just putting your bets in beforehand. So it's a good time.
I don't really consider any of this stuff fun, but I respect you having fun doing this. I consider this nerve-wracking and anxiety-fueled, but it's what we do for a living, and we chose it.
Absolutely. Prez, all the best in all of your bets tonight in Monday Night Football in the doubleheader. So End Zone is fire.
Send my love to Ronald Kabang and tell him to get his butt on the show Sunday. Later, everybody. Okay. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Prez. Okay, you guys, that was the Prez. If you're looking for all of his best bets, his premium plays, head on over to WagerTalk. Like he was saying, that $5 Tuesday promo is kicking off at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you've got about an hour and 20 minutes before those bets start popping up over there. You can get all of those plays that those handicappers put in for the $5 Tuesday. We do have Ronald Kabang jumping in just a second here. I also want to remind you guys about the Weekend Warrior, which is a great package that you can get all of the football plays from these handicappers for the weekend, including Monday's bets. And then with NHL and NBA right around the corner, you want to make sure you jump on those early bird specials as well. But yeah, those $5 picks for the day, you definitely want to check those out. I love seeing all of you guys in the comments here. Drop who you're liking in these bets. And Ronald Kabang is coming in just a second. So I want to see your questions out there for him as he jumps into the show. So let's bring in Ronald Kabang and let's see what he's liking tonight in Monday Night Football. Ronald, it's nice to meet you here on WagerTalk.
Yeah, first time doing a show with you. I'm glad to be back on. It's been a while since I did any of the shows on WagerTalk. I've been out for a little bit, so just good to be back on the show in general.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. We got a doubleheader tonight, loaded slate out there with the 2 games. Let's jump into the first one here. The New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins, you guys. And as we go over these lines, make sure you do open your odds logic page, shop the best of the numbers. So the New York Jets rolling in Ronald, if you missed the start of the show, Prez called me insane. He went roundabout saying it, and I fully admit it too. I'm rolling with the Jets in a survivor pick. It wasn't a big survivor pool, right? Like it's not the Circa. It's one of the Splash Sports one. It's a smaller one. So I'm okay with it if I lose this one as one of my plays. But I do think the Jets have the ability. What's your thoughts between the Jets and the Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're going to win this game, it'll definitely be on the back of Justin Fields. I think his mobility and off-script playmaking would probably be the reason why they would win this game, because Miami's pass defense is already struggling, 31st in defensive DVOA. They're going to be without a couple key players on that secondary as well. So there's a chance that they do, get some, explosive plays, some long explosive plays, whether it's on the ground or through the air. Just by having Fields back. And then on the other side, if you have Tua, who has really struggled, 4 interceptions. I think Miami as a whole is -5 on turnover differential through the first few games. Being able to get some takeaways on the short field, whether you really like the Jets offense or not, having a short field is going to be very beneficial to get some points on the board, especially since they've been struggling the first few weeks here. From an ATS perspective, I think Dolphins, they're still overvalued. They 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread already this season. They continue to move the line towards them. So to me, I think just still being a little bit overvalued. Situationally, you got Miami. I think they got a few days extra rest, but this is a 3rd straight divisional game. And then historically, if you look at these teams in that 3rd straight divisional game, and they're playing a team that's coming off of a loss. The Jets obviously motivated after blowing that lead. That's a fade spot in most books. So I would look towards the Jets here plus the 2.5. I mean, getting them to win outright is definitely doable, but 2.5 would be my lean on the side.
Ooh, that makes me feel so much better about me rolling in there with that survivor pick with the New York Jets. So yeah, you guys shop those lines. I'm seeing plus 2.5 right around that -102 mark. Now, what are your thoughts on this total, if anything? That total sitting right around 43.5. We know that defensive line for the Miami Dolphins on paper, it's great. Right. But it's not converting this season. What that defensive line is able to do, they're having those struggles. Do you think the New York Jets, if they're coming out at least plus the points, being able to cover or win, do you think they're scoring a lot of points in this one, or is this a low scoring battle for you?
So I actually gave this out to clients. I took the under 45, and it has shifted down, like you said, to 43.5. So I think the market is with me. It initially went up from 43.5 to 45, and once it hit that 45, it hit the threshold for me to take the opposite way. For me, I think a couple of things here. Both offenses obviously underperforming. I think I talked about the short field, like Tua, struggling with the giveaways. I think both defenses are better than what their numbers show. Both teams have really had a tough schedule to start out the season. So I think that's what I mean by their numbers are their defense is better than what their numbers show. I think from on paper, I expected both defenses to play a little bit better. But I mean, you have teams like the Bills, the Colts, and all those strong offenses to start the season. It's obviously going to be a little bit misleading. I think that I did talk about Fields being able to come in back under center, the mobility and his off script playmaking. A lot of those things will be primarily on the ground, leading to longer drives. Maybe the red zone, both teams will struggle there. So you're going to see longer drives on both sides, especially if they're going to try to limit Tua's giveaways. Long drives, maybe field goals, not a lot of touchdowns. That's definitely a recipe for an under.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so we talked about it with the Prez. People are throwing it out again. Seth is now saying as well, Tua over 1.5 rushing yards. It's on DK. We've seen it on a whole bunch of books here. S. pointed it out earlier as well. What are your thoughts on Tua using his legs in this one? And Prez made a good point. Using his legs doesn't really pay off for Tua. We know his injury concerns. Mm-hmm. I hate to see Tua run, but can he stop himself from running out there, Ronald?
I mean, at that number, you kind of have to look towards the over. Obviously, it is a concern, right? Like, is he going to really, rely on his legs when his injury concerns? But And then also the turnovers, right? Like I think having thrown 4 interceptions, you're gonna try and release the ball a little bit quicker. So I don't know. You can go both ways, right? The number is so low, you got to take the over, but at the same time, from a game flow perspective, you don't want to see him running the ball. So yeah, to me, I'm not really a prop guy. I think S dot what you said. S dot is the guy who mentioned it. He knows I'm not a prop guy either. He's seen a lot of my shows. But that's my perspective. I think you can go either way here. You don't want to see Tua run, but you also want to take the over just because it's 1.5 yards.
Okay, so not a prop guy. We do have, a solid running game per what you were saying, though. Would you expect those running backs to get in the end zone, or do you think these quarterbacks will have to pass the ball off?
I think they're gonna try and make this a one-dimensional game both ways, right? Both quarterbacks are struggling. I think they're gonna stuff the run and try to force these quarterbacks to make plays. And for me, we've seen Tua. Like I mentioned, the giveaways have been consistent. The offensive line is struggling. I think the one thing that the Jets have in favor for them is Fields coming back under center and the mobility that he brings. If he can time everything right and counter these blitz packages that Miami's going to throw at him, he's definitely going to have opportunities to get some long runs.
Okay, I love where you're thinking with that one. We have the later game as well. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos. This line's still sitting right around that 7.5 and a total of 44.5 in this one. What do you think coming into this game of the Denver Broncos? Do you think they can cover a spread of 7.5 versus the Cincinnati Bengals that we know it's Jake Browning now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know Browning is the quarterback here, but at 7.5, I would look towards the Bengals side. I think Denver's still, for me, obviously they're favored. To me, I think they're going to win this game, but covering the 7.5 would be tough just because I think they're still a little bit overvalued. I think this opened up at like 6 and they've shifted to 7.5, and they still haven't covered a game yet this season. So that's what I mean by a little bit overvalued. I think they're still continuing to be a public team. Their third down conversion rate, I think, is not that great. They haven't been sustaining drives consistently enough. They failed to finish a couple of fourth quarter leads in back-to-back weeks. Motivation-wise, I feel like there's this bounce-back situation on the Cincinnati side. Obviously, you mentioned Browning and him wanting to come back. He's thrown 5 interceptions through 2 games. But at the same time, if you look at Knicks, I think he has three interceptions and also a fumble loss. So he's a turnover prone as well. So you're going to get some short field on both sides. I was actually looking towards the over in this one, but just because of the amount of short fields that you might be able to see with turnovers. But if that's the case, then that means the Bengals should be able to put up some points on this Broncos defense. I know Denver's red zone defense is one of the best in the league, but I think it's to a point where it could be at a point where it's kind of unsustainable, right? A little bit of regression to the mean. I think 27.3% touchdown allowed in the red zone. That might come up a little bit at some point.
Yeah, and definitely with those struggles Bo Nix has had. If the weather is sloppy, like Travis is saying, he says it looks a little wet in Denver, we could see the struggles offensively. And sometimes it's defensively when we get that weather, but with Bo Nix's issues, he's got to be on his A game. David Webb's throwing out the Broncos, laying 3 in the first quarter. I think the first half, they're laying 4.5 from what Prez said. Which way would you go with that, Ronald? Would you prefer, like, if you were looking for the Denver Broncos, first quarter or first half kind of bets? What do you prefer?
I mean, I think the edge would go to Denver early, right? Just because of the atmosphere they're going to be in, being at home, the mile high effect, with all that gives them an opportunity, or the Bengals less time to adjust. So giving them that halftime adjustment that's where they might be able to come back and get that backdoor cover towards the end of this game. But early on, you would probably give the edge to Denver.
Okay, early edge for the Denver Broncos, which will be a nice live betting situation if that does play out, coming back in on the Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys think they're going to pull out even the straight up win, that's plus 350. I don't know if I can say that, but we could get a better line on that 7.5. Ronald, we've got Thursday night football kicking off, the 49ers and the Rams on Thursday for week 5. And then we still have games overseas, the Vikings and the Browns, but then a fully loaded slate. Is there anything else that's really sticking out for you?
Yeah, I mean, this Thursday night game is pretty important. Obviously, a divisional game. For the Niners coming off their first loss of the season, Purdy dealing with toe soreness. But I think they have the coaching staff and just the roster overall is very strong for this 49ers team. Mac Jones has history as being a starter. I think the number is at 5.5, if I'm not mistaken. I think that number is moved just because of the Purdy news, 2 points. But I think, in my opinion, Rams, their offense hasn't been that consistent enough for me to back them, to look to back them. 5.5 against a strong 49ers team. So my initial thought, I haven't bet anything for next week yet, but my initial thought is that 49ers plus 5.5. It is an important game. I think everyone in the NFC West is pretty strong. So each game is going to be very important. And coming off a loss, the Niners are really strong off bounce back situations.
Oh, they absolutely are. And that does agree with the Prez, because he does like the Rams, but said the 5.5 is just way too many points. And I completely agree with you guys. So Thursday night football, early look ahead, you guys. We will be back here live on Thursday for WagerTalk last call before that game kicks off. But right now, that 5.5 is out there for the 49ers. And both Ronald Kabang and the Prez are liking that plus 5.5. Ronald, what have you got up for sale over on WagerTalk for us?
Right now, actually, like I gave it out already, but the only game I had up for sale was that Jets game on the under. So if you're watching the show, obviously you got that for free. I do have a WNBA play that I was just capping right before I got on here, and that I know what I'm betting. I'm just got to put it up for my clients, and that will be available for $5 Tuesday for tomorrow. And I usually put up my NFL and college football on Wednesdays. So those will be available on Wednesday.
Okay, you guys head on over to wagertalk.com to grab Ronald Kabang's packages over there and all of the other handicappers. Ronald, thank you. Best of luck in your bets tonight.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, you guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Wager Talk Last Call. I appreciate your time. Remember, we are live here Monday and Thursdays before these games kick off. We do, when there's a doubleheader, kick off just that little bit earlier so that we make sure we get all of those bets in. And then Wager Talk Last Call is on Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern. This weekend, I will be covering for Kelly on Saturday and Ariel on Sunday, but normally that's where you can catch the girls on Wager Talk. Last Call is on the weekends, and I'm covering those Monday and Thursday shows. But until Thursday, you guys, stay hot. Let's make some freaking money. All the best in all of your bets.